Welcome to the New Earth Healers interviews, and our guest today is Alexa Pittenger. Correct? Got your name correct? Thank you. Okay, Alexa, tell us a little bit about what your service is to help people to heal.
Well, I began to study bodywork in 1982. I got involved in a group that was both Touch for Health and reflexology, and that was really fascinating to me. And of course, one thing leads to another, and you just read more books and take more classes.
Yes.
And in 1990, I began to do bodywork or massage therapy professionally. And of course, massage is just an umbrella term for a lot of different techniques and modalities. So it's best to have a number of tools in your tool belt.
True.
So I do work with individuals where they're coming from. So sometimes people don't have the best lifestyle choices. Sometimes they've had an accident or a trauma and they're in pain. Sometimes they are regular body workers, they do regular massage. So it all is very much tailored to the individual and what they may need.
Right.
So sometimes, we might do some orthopedic style massage, which, focuses in a different area than, say, some energy work, which might work with the more subtle bodies.
Yes.
But the bottom line is to help each individual be more at ease. I teach people how to move into a more parasympathetic part of their nervous system and what that feels like, so that they can understand what they need to do on their own in order to be in a place where they're more able to heal.
Okay. Can you explain for the viewer what does parasympathetic mean?
Well, when we are called upon to operate in the world, we must always be assessing for danger, for instance, is the simplest way. So we're in a sympathetic dominant state. When we sleep or when we rest, we're in a parasympathetic state, which means that digestion and healing can take place, because we can't do both at the same time. Because physiologically, if we have to run away from the bear, our blood has to be in our muscles. It's not digesting our food. You get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an either-or situation, and people need to be able to move through. And there are techniques, of course, and tools to move between the two, because obviously you want to be able to run from the bear, but if the bear's not there, you want to be able to rest.
Right. Okay. Now, do you have a team of other healers that work with you?
Not specifically in my own office, but yes, I'm part of a group called the Partners in Wellness, and there's a broad range of practitioners that I can call upon, because there is time always that people should have a team of practitioners in order to facilitate
the
changes.
needs of your clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alexa, what is your vision for the healing movement, or your own personal goal for 2014 related to the healing movement?
Well, in Eureka Springs, I'm particularly interested in practitioners of all kinds coming together to share more information about not only themselves but their visions, and then to use that unified voice as a way of reaching out to people who are interested in learning more about healthy lifestyle choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel that our medical model is great if you get hit by a bus, but there are so many things that we as individuals need to be responsible for and we're accountable for in terms of our own health and healing. And I think prevention is a huge thing, which involves nutrition and activity, the quality of our sleep, but even more so what we think, what our attitude is, what our perspectives are.
Right.
And it's I think all of us have wisdom, and we can nourish each other,
Mhm.
form that team, that bond, because it doesn't have to be a strictly, professional relationship. We get nourished through our social community
Yes.
as well. So those kinds of things I look forward to sharing more and being nourished more
Okay.
within the community. I
Right.
think that leads to that sense of ease that I'm always looking for.
Yeah, and a sense of cohesiveness
Mm-hmm.
amongst us all. Alexa, I was reading your profile on the New Earth Healing website, and I was a bit intrigued about your toe readings. Tell me about that. Do you look at someone's foot and say, okay, I can see you have two marriages in your future?
Well, that's interesting. A lot of people think of toe reading as toe telling, but
Yeah.
it's not
Right.
at all. It's an acknowledgement of our choices, both internally, perhaps even going as far back as our soul contract, and of course how we're showing up in the world. And we don't know what we don't know. And sometimes having someone help us to understand the physical characteristics can then help us to understand the metaphysical meanings, the metaphorical meanings. And this often leads to ahas of how we're showing up. The choices we're making may not serve us or be what we expect them to be. So looking at the toes, they have characteristics, and we just bring out what the shape, the color, the position, the relationship of the toes to each other all have meanings.
Okay, so I was actually just joking, but it does kind of move into like a metaphysical
Yes.
realm.
Sure.
Okay, it's
Sure.
interesting. Okay. Anything else about the foot massages that you give, or reflexology?
Well, of course, reflexology is like getting a massage just for the whole body, but just working on the feet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found it to be a wonderful way of helping people to relax. Because a lot of us are very armored, and while a lot of people don't feel good about their feet, they'll say, "Oh, I've got ugly feet," or it's always telling. And so it's a service, to wash someone's feet has historically been a way of being in service, of getting to a heart place with a person. I do have a desire to meld technology, and so the ion foot bath is a way of flooding the body with charged particles so that stabilizes heavy metals and unstable, substances, so that they can be breathed and excreted out of the body more easily. So it is a way of enhancing our electrical self.
Great, great. So, Alexa, if someone wants to contact you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Well, people can call me on the phone, 479-253-9208. They can go to my website, which is eurekamassage.com. And either of those ways, I do work by appointment, so it's best to give me a call.
Yes.
And I'd be glad to work with you however you'd like to be.
That's awesome. Thank you, Alexa, very much for joining us today on the New Earth Healers interview. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.